We just misprinting lines. We face the path of time. And yet I fight this battle all alone. No one to cry to, no place to call home. My gift of self is rape. My privacy is raped. And yet I find repeating in my head, if I can't be my own, well, I'd be better dead. Hey, my name is Gravity Groove, and I am here to bring you not safe for work magic. We are all continuing to self-quarantine, me included. I believe this is day 9 or 10, and we're doing all we can to stay sane. Part of that is entertaining our brain and entertaining others. So today, I built something that we're going to be testing out in the unranked queue, because I was thinking, why isn't anyone trying Cavalier of Thorns with Kroxa? Cavalier of Thorns mills us 5 cards. Kroxa says, yay, 5 cards. And so that's what this is. Green, obviously, 3 green is a requirement, is pretty steep. So, you know, we've built our mana base in a way that favors black, as that's our primary color. But we do have a decent amount of green sources to hit it, surprisingly. And we also are trying out Hydra. This just seems like a great card if you're in green. I like the fact that it, along with Kroxa, both dodge Conquer's Death. So it gives us 6 big creatures that end the game that do not care about Conquer's Death. This is also another card that I love because you don't want to bounce this, and the format is all about bouncing your shit right now. So I love these cards that are just punishing people who bounce your stuff. You don't want to bounce this. I get to kill another thing. You don't want to bounce this. I get to get another land. You don't want to bounce this. I get to shock you again. You don't want to bounce this. It activates again. You don't want to bounce this. It gives me life and fuels my plan. You following me? Do you catch my cold? Too soon. I'm trying 1 binding here because I just felt like I didn't have quite enough in the 2 slot, but ultimately I might end up removing this and just chucking in another Rampage or the 3rd Rider, or I don't know. I'm testing this out. This whole thing is a test. But our curve, I think, is fairly reasonable. We keep it fairly low. We do have a high land count because the nature of the deck accelerating into Cavalier. Normally I would say you only need 25 lands if your average is closer to 3 or above, but because our mana curve is our mana needs are a little different than suggested here, because Kroxa is a 2-drop sort of, but it's actually sort of a 4-drop, and Pelucranos, of course, is sort of a 6-drop. So 25 lands seems okay here, but I wouldn't fault you if you tried 24. Because we're a 3-mana base, I'm only running 1 castle, even though I love this card. It is such a great stall breaker. I wish I could have 15 in the deck and have it still function, but I can't. Our mana base is a bit of a mess here and has a lot of pain in it, which can make the aggro matchups a little rough. This isn't completely sorted out yet. If you feel as though you have a better understanding of mana bases than me, feel free to send me a message, drop in a comment, and we can talk about it. But for now, this is what we're trying out. The sideboard has a couple disfigures and red caps for the aggro matchup, Duress and 4 Agonizing Remorse for all the various control versions like Jeskai Fires, an additional Rampage, which gives us 5 artifact destroying spells and 3 plus 3 ways to kill Dream Trawler. 1 Cry of the Carnarium to respect the Rakdos Sacrifice decks, kills virtually every card in their deck, pretty great. The double cost makes us only want 1 instead of 2. Libation, which is great against the Fires decks, the Reclamation decks, and occasionally you bring it in, often you bring it in against the Dream Trawler decks as well. And 1 additional Ashiok to bring us up to 2 potential graveyard hate cards that don't hurt us. So we're going to try this out now. And see how it is. I've only run a couple of games with it so far, so I'm still trying to basically learn from it. It feels fairly reasonable. I don't know if we actually just want 4 Cavalier of Thorns in here instead of 3. I have 4, but I'm kind of hedging. I could see cutting the binding for the 4th Cavalier since they both do the same thing, but one's power level is just quite a bit higher. Pretty great mana setup here. Can cast everything in our hand. Pretty great hand, honestly. Can't wait to see how it falls apart. Okay, so either, well, this could be anything, really. Did we just... You're going to tell me the shuffler's not bugged. And I'm going to tell you you're a fucking liar. What are the odds of the card I just scryed to the bottom showing up on the top? Uh-huh. Never forget that this is not real magic. That's so fucked up. Uh-huh. I submit this video to Wizards as Exhibit A. So I think we're just gonna play the Bone Crusher. This looks like Sultai Control. Oh no, that's a forest. I thought that was a black-green source. We don't know if this is pure Simic or Bant yet. Or Teamer. Okay, so some kind of ramp deck. Bant ramp, okay. We're just going to apply as much pressure as we can, as quick as we can. Now we're just looking for another red source to be able to recur Kroxa. Okay, I don't know what's going on here. We have 2 kill spells to remove anything they put in the way. We also have enough black to play our Ebon Legion as well. Okay, so we're bringing in our second Ashiok and probably our Agonizing Remorses. We get to do this and grow it and still bedevil any creature on our opponent's turn. Well, I suppose anything but a Teferi. Important to note, he only has a single blue source here. Well, that's incredibly uncool. Main deck time wipe, huh? Oh, we only have 1 mountain. Uh-oh. Deck building error. Yeah, I think we lose now. Didn't expect a main deck time wipe. We'd only have one mountain because there's so many alternate red sources in our deck. Stomping Grounds, Blood Crypts, Temples of Malice. Being stuck top dogging here while he gets all of his gas back is really, really bad. Well, there's nothing we can do now. The top deck can lose very slowly. He hit his source before we hit ours. Is his hand just mono counter spells? Like, what is going on over there? Okay, I've seen enough. So just a big dumb ramp deck as everything else in the format is. Bring in our discard spells, bring in our Ashiok, cut some of the cards that feel the loosest. Hydra probably isn't fighting much of anything. Bone Crusher probably isn't crushing much of anything. Originally, I tried to have Phoenix in the deck too, but the double red requirement was pretty sketch, so I quickly cut that down. For the record, we have 1, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14-ish red sources in here. Maybe we are going to end up having to cut something for an additional mountain, which is probably a good idea, honestly. What else are we running here? What else are we cutting? Probably cut Hydras. He's running Time Wipe, so we cut one of our calls because he's just gonna get us. Uh-oh. We disconnected in the middle of sideboarding, which means we're just going to cancel this game. Thankfully, it's unranked, so it doesn't really matter. But when you disconnect in the middle of sideboarding, you usually lose your sideboarding opportunity. Which I've gotten several losses on the ladder and at events due to that. Oh no, we just have like half a second to do it. Alright, well, let's see how this goes. Maybe we can draw better. His deck turtles, so this is fine. This is something I'll have to answer in a reasonable way. Or this alone could beat him down. If we don't draw a 2-drop on our... Ooh, sure. I like single threats. Let's force all the time wipes out of him. Ashiok and take that away from him. These ramp decks are so fucked up. 5 land on turn 3 and standard is fucked up. It should not be allowed. There should not be a thing that can occur. This was definitely a mistaken design. Vivian's Arcbow. What?
Big. You fear me. Your fight.
Oh, we lost the Benevolent.
Difficult to digest. Gain life and get the 6 mana and mass manipulation me. Sure, why not? Okay. Should have done that after we did our thing. Now we might just not want to do that. I don't know, we actually don't need a black source, do we? We'll leave that on top. Yeah, let's just continue to threaten him with this. There's no point in me committing more to the field. So brave. You will be haunted by this tool.
Right on schedule.
Well, that is one way for us to get punished, I suppose.
Oh, I've done the hero thing before.
Didn't see that in the first game. Should have suspected, though. All these decks run the same 16 cards. So now we're forced to play into his time wipe. Still looking for our Kroxa here.
Until two
There we go.
masterpiece.
Now we're just going to cast Kroxa over and over again until he taps out. Would be nice to hit some more land here, though. We've milled a tremendous amount of it. Loaming Shaman. Shovels any number of... Okay. Alright. I wouldn't have called this as a sideboard card against graveyard decks, but I mean, I guess. Okay. Okay. Sure, sure.
Might be a bad idea.
All right.
Enough. I leave you. I'll return.
I suppose this is the downside of playing in the practice queue. You get a lot of jank, which isn't really helpful. I mean, you're trying to test against established strategies. We do have to look at our mana base for a moment, though, and figure out if we can or should add an additional red source. And again, this deck just may not be viable because... the Devil and Polukranos. We'll mill the Polukranos. Or we won't mill the Polukranos. I think the Ashiok is stopping the Arcbow from working. I suppose we'll find out. I don't know if this counts as a searching effect. Okay.
Behold,
That worked.
my victory was but a dream.
Huh. Sure. Lotus Field. I so don't know what the hell this deck is doing. But it doesn't really matter. They just play expensive cards and go over the top. Time Warp? Oh, yeah. I mean, that kind of works. It's a little synergy. What a weird first match. I hope our matches after this are a little more normal. So whatever he casts, we're going to kill with Murderous Rider. Misses window? Okay, if he's not going to cast anything, I think we just summon Pelucranos. So he can Arcbow for literal anything now? I guess this is what his deck is trying to do. I don't know if this means he has Finale of Devastation in hand or what. Sure. You can beat me. Good for you. That didn't really give us any... Why did you load me into a bot match? Normally when you cancel out of a match, you go right into the same format you were playing. What the hell?
See you again soon, Planeswalker.
That's bizarre. That's really bizarre. Okay. Hopefully we can get a real deck this time. Could cut a Fabled Passage for a mountain. Yeah, I think it was just a bad draw. We grab a green or a red? Probably grab a green, right? So here comes the same deck. Because that's all people know how to play. Uro, Nissa, Teferi. At least this is the Bant deck, so it should give us some actionable information here. We probably just swing this Mire Triton. Really? Alright. That's kind of surprising. Probably means he has an Uro in hand. We are slightly regretting not getting our red source. Hey! I'll bottom that, because we want to try to have a creature or an enchant. Oh, never mind, we got hits. It's all good. JK. LOL. getting a land draw would have been better here. So we could have double spelled. Guess we'll just Kroxa Binding. The Binding will eventually get us a land. We're just gonna hope we don't mill their Uro and give them a window. Which we might. So now we can Kroxa next turn if they don't have any shenanigans to interrupt us. We can also pull a land. Interesting. So we take their knight, we take their crisis. We're missing. Oh, I see. I see. With binding, we can get a black and red source.
Sorry I'm late.
Probably just get a tomb. Ooh, a castle. Maybe get the castle, right? I'm gonna bounce my binding.
I won't. No, I am not making this up as
Sure.
I go.
Wonder if he's got shatter. Land shatter would really kind of suck here. That's pretty good for him too. Ooh, that's pretty good for us too. So we get this back. Play it. We Ashiok ourselves.
And hope relent your fight.
Make his graveyard go away.
I will always return.
We should have attacked the Teferi and then Ashioked, but you know. We
Let's try
misplayed.
this.
Jesus fucking Christ. That sucks for me. I guess now we... Kroxa just fuels their fucking Uros now. I mean, what other choice do I have, right? Play the best card. And, hope it's good enough. Can't believe how much fucking life he's gained from all this bullshit. time wipe me, Daddy. I've been bad. I've tried to play Magic. You must stop me. Eh? Huh? Did he misclick? Oh. Okay. I mean, I guess. Bye-bye. Bye, friend. The Rashiok comes in. Hydras come out. Shatter the Sky probably in this deck. Take one of these out. Binding doesn't do enough and helps their plan. Yeah, we're going to end up taking Binding out after this match. The fact that it incidentally helps other people with Uro's decks just renders it unplayable to me. I think maybe I'll just put the 5th Cav in there. Another Rampage in here. Bone Crusher doesn't do quite enough. Cut a Knight on the draw as well. I mean, we didn't see Dream Trawler, but they've got to have it, right? Hey, look, we're not a Jund deck at all. This is pretty reasonable. Mana depending. If that is too many Kroxas, by a factor of 3. Yay, 4 mana on turn 2, yay! Jesus. Is this a joke? We win all poker games. 100%, we win. We win the poker game. Huh? 5 mana on turn 3. Good, fair, well-designed magic there. Don't let anyone tell you different. Meanwhile, we've got a full house. A fuller than full house. We probably just lose this one to Mana Screw. It's a good keep. Almost every spell in our hand was castable, but what are you gonna do? Sometimes you get trolled by the Magic deck.
I know my responsibility. I'll protect you.
He's missing a blue source.
I've got it.
Pretty greedy that he did that. There's the blue source. Doesn't matter because we can't punish him. Should have grabbed a mountain there. Think I'm tilted because my land has screwed me so hard.
Time. But trust me, I have a plan.
Sure. Really, really playing fast and loose with that Uro. Yeah, we're just not going to draw any land. GG's, I guess. So we won the one game we got to play. See if we can win this one. Or play this one. Boy, this is a great game. This is the best game. This is my favorite game. The game where we learn, do we get to play Magic? We shake the 8-ball, and half the time it's just a middle finger. And we never, we never return the 8-ball, we just keep trying. Because we're idiots. That's unfortunate. Now if we calls the dead and he has Teferi on curve, he just gets to get us. Damn it.
Let's slow this down. Don't make I've got time.
Yep. Good fun games of Magic, chat. Good fun games of Magic.
Wonder what you feel. You must. You remember
Okay.
your
Need
nightmare.
any red source? Any red source to make the dream work? Green source would be fine too. Okay, we're just gonna bedevil that.
Don't worry, I got this.
Maybe we're not gonna bedevil that.
Your luck. You will be haunted by this tool.
Here we go.
Wouldn't surprise me for this to get Devout Decreed or Aether Gusted.
Past,
Yay, more
present, and
annoying.
future are bound by threats.
Yay.
Hone your prowess.
More annoying, yay!
I
Okay, that's pretty good. Don't even know if we still have a forest in our deck. Hey. Sometimes lucky.
Behold, my victory was but a dream.
So we still have 1 or 2 rampages and 1 libation. Okay. Probably worth it for the card draw. Fine with me. What else might we want? Another Cavalier of Thorns, a Bedevil, a Murderous Rider. So this can be an 8. Let's see here. I think we pump it at least once, right? And do we just cast Kroxa again? Beautiful. Okay. Damn it. I think he's still dead here, right? Bye, friend. Bye. Nice playing with you. Well, that was better. Okay, let's get rid of this Binding of the Titans. Let's get rid of this stupid Binding of the Titans. Boop. What do we want in its place? Do we want the 4th Cavalier? I feel like we have enough big mana bombs at the moment. Definitely need a little more testing thinking about that Cavalier, though. I like it. Can I add another red source somewhere? Could cut a Temple of Malady for another Stomping Ground. Or just go up a Temple of Malice. Hmm. 3, 6, 10, 11. 11 green sources. What's the other temple? Maybe we add one of these. For one of these. I think that might be correct. Hard to say. So how many red sources does that give us? 1, 5, 8, 9, 13. 13 red sources, 11 green sources, 3, 7, 9, 13, 14, 15, 19 black sources. That seems pretty reasonable. Four, 8, 10, 11, 15 red sources. Oh, that's 15 red sources is probably more than I need, right? There, let's try it. Okay, what are we putting in for the removed binding? I could just drop in another Murderous Rider. It's always relatively fine, but we've already got 5 3-mana kill spells. We probably don't need it. Our pressure is pretty reasonable. We have a lot of creatures. I don't hate just adding the Rampage. It is a catch-all that I like a lot. Until I have a better idea, we're just going to put that in there. We have 4 Myers, 4 Calls, 3 Calves, and 1 Ashiok to fuel our escape creatures. We could cut this for another Cry at this point if we wanted, or the other Duress. We're getting mostly control matchups today. Maybe we hedge in that direction for now. All right, let's try one more. So we're in discovery mode today, and trying to figure out what we're doing with this pile. Again, may not be viable. We'll try an event after this and see how that does. But the idea here is definitely cool. Have Cavaliers help us flip our escape cards into the bin, right? Honestly, we probably should have just went 4 Cavaliers. Like, that's what we're testing here, right? Why is our opponent mulliganed 83 times? Okay. I have a feeling this isn't going to be a game. Well, we don't know what they are. I feel like someone that mulligans that hard might be aggro. Let's see. Sideboard in the dark. Ah. They aren't having any fun, friends. Let's try again. Oh, wait. Let's just do the thing we came here to do, right? We're testing after all. See how often we get stranded with 4 in our deck. See if it does the thing on the 10. It might be right to just be running 26 lands here. Okay, so we've got a turn 2 play and a turn 2 aggro counter. Pretty reasonable here. 2 mulligans from our opponent. Maybe facing another non-game. Based on the sleeves, I'm going to assume we're facing mono red. What? Okay. Oh, I wanted that land. Huh? A satyr deck. Okay. A satyr deck. Oh, was that my castle? You bastard. You complete and total bastard. Took my satyr, man. Or, castle. I've got satyr in my brain now as a word. What the F? Okay. Buccaneer. Okay, so every creature in the deck is fucking haste. That's annoying. We're getting sick of that. What do we need? We got... Okay. He wasn't having fun. We had some of the fun. Having some fun was too much fun. And he quit. He felt the fun was inequitable. So the cry will be good here. Disfigures will be good here. I assume the red cap melees will be good here. Take out a couple of these boys. Take out a Pelucranos. Take out Ashiok. Take out one of these. Take out one of these. For as much as we know about what this deck does, this seems okay. Well, we got the Cav on curve there. Even though we don't have a ton of green sources. Pretty surprising. Pretty reasonable here. Kind of temple flooded, but you know. Okay, so either is a first strike trick or just another one. Probably just another one. Clint Horn. Clint Horn. Green, green, we can only get one other green, so I still kind of want the castle. What is this? I guess that's fine. Probably should have bottomed the castle. Sure. That's a reasonable play. Sandbag 2 haste creatures. So the deck is just mono haste creatures. Mono haste creatures. Alright. Yeah. Sure. Oh, he actually has a lot of escape cards. That really, really sucks. I haven't hit any of our Kroxas yet. What are we getting with our cab if our cab dies? Probably just a bedevil?
I appreciate clean victories.
And a bit of style does.
Let me synthesize the facts.
Okay. Our opponent went from having no cards in hand to having a flobbity-jillion cards in hand. I don't really understand what they're trying to do. It's just a deck full of haste creatures with a few discard outlets. Sure. So have enough to do this?
answers lie in the cold truth.
Well, the unranked queue is really the Wild West. So we're just going to have to jump this turn. So we're milling a Kroxa, right? Interesting. 2 land in the graveyard. Are we dead here?
Embrace your fear and
Yeah,
charge!
I think we're dead here. Huh. Yeah, the 2 hits us, and then the 2 hits us from the death. Oh, plus that's... Trample? Since when was that? Oh. Cool. Very confusing Timmy deck. So there's a lot of weird stuff going on here. I don't think it's a lot we need to interact with, though. Now at least we know all the way what's going on here. There's a lot of 2-drops. This still seems good. Voracious Hydra feels like it's going to be slow. We did see some graveyard themes. What a weird deck to have to figure out. Let's give this a shot. Oh boy. Mana looks decent. We can just get our last mountain with this. And then we'll have double red, double black. So as we know, we can never attack with this against this deck. because that gets us made vulnerable. So Damn it now. Okay. We probably just end up bedeviling that, but we need to wait here. Make satyrs. I just wanted to wait for a juicier target if one would arise. Infinity Annexes is not super fun to fight against. Kroxa? No. Just all my good cards. Ooh. Okay. So we're gonna cook that before any card draw happens, because I've had enough of that. So he probably has another one in hand, in which case he's run us out of cards. Okay, so we have all of our colors of everything here. Nothing we get really matters that much. We're gonna hold up the melee because I assume he has another, whatever the hell this thing is, Gali. Jeez, with the annexes, holy shit! Enough! You must stop!
Nightmares are the... Here.
No Kroxa.
You will be haunted by these two.
No Kroxa. Said Panda. Could have protected Ashiok with the melee, but we really need to save it for a more pressing threat. Like that. Still no Kroxa. Still no Kroxa. Uh-huh. Because of course that would happen. Well, there goes my scrying. Of course, the fourth one in 20 cards. How could it possibly be anything else? Still no Kroxa. Not a single Kroxa yet. Jeez. Doesn't matter anymore. Unless the next card I draw is Cry of the Carnarium. Yeah. This is pretty over now. It's going too wide for me. Getting beat up by Jank. Feels bad. Feels real bad. Is there Cry still in here? Yeah, still in there. Oh, it might be turning the corner here. Just making more creatures he can't block. If he can't kill Kroxa or block, he's dead. Okay. What a weird deck. Well, today's been weird deck day here on Not Safe for Work Magic. When you play off the ladder, weird stuff happens. Well, I don't know that we learned anything. I like the concept, but I'm going to have to just wade into ranked and see how it feels in a more serious metagame to see if it's worth the risk of splitting the mana base in such a dramatic way. I hope you like the concept at least, and you understand what it was going for. We will be recording another one of these probably a bit later, but for now, I'm going to get some more coffee, grab a quick meal, and I will see you guys later. Thanks for watching.